We were able to make a trade. I know it broke yesterday. We were able to trade the draft rights of the 30th pick and Tony Snell for John Leuer for our draft tonight. Although we didn't get any results, we were up there, worked it really hard. Probably made a call on almost every pick in the second. We did make a call on every pick in the second round. Tried to get into the first round a few ways. A lot of good players in the draft. I think we did our best. But ultimately, the trade that we did was kind of our biggest move of the draft season for us here. And so now we head into free agency, feel really great about where we're at. And I'll take some questions kind of on the trade or free agency or draft here for a few minutes if you guys have any.
Can you just explain the rationale behind doing the trade and doing it when you did?
Yeah, the rationale behind the trade for us, just to better position ourselves to keep the group together, the really core of the group together that we feel like helped us have the greatest success this year and really to sustain it and go forward long term. The cost of that was 30 for us. We evaluated the draft. We liked 30, but we thought that the impact on the trade and the flexibility and the options that we're going to have as a result of it far outweighed what we could do with the 30th pick this year.
Do you end up having any regrets when you see the Pistons obviously flip that and kind of how the draft unfolds with the guys talented as Porter Jr. coming down to 30?
No, absolutely not. Because again, we evaluate. So, do we know that Kevin Porter would fall to 30? Not necessarily. We understood the pool that was going to be there at 30, give or take a few guys. We understood what we were trading out of. We understood what we were going to try to get back into, and ultimately weighed that against the transaction and the benefits of it. And we feel great about what we did.
Do you intend for Leuer to be on the roster?
Yeah, so Leuer is a piece in the trade that we acquired. Obviously, former Wisconsin Badger, Milwaukee Buck, was part of the group that drafted him. I know John personally. He's a great guy. We know what he can do as a player. There's a potential for him to have a role on our team. He's a guy that can shoot, that has size, that has mobility, and there's a potential for him to be used in future moves and different things that we're looking at. And we've expressed that with his agent and with him, and so he's fully aware of that. But his character, the type of things that he can bring to our culture, the way that he plays, there is an avenue to John Leuer being part of this team. And I should say, too, as part of the trade, obviously, we're very thankful for everything that Tony did for us. He was a big part of our playoff run in our first year when we kind of brought the team together. He's been a big part of what we've done here. And for Detroit, he was a target for them. I think they see a lot of value in him. They think he's going to help them play. They love his size and his shooting. And so we're thankful for what he did for us and wish him the best of luck with Detroit as well.
How do you feel like Tony moved on and moving those salaries around kind of helps you this summer and makes things a little easier?
Well, I think that just right off the bat, we have more flexibility. There's a difference in the contracts between Leuer and Tony, and with a draft pick, of course. So that's for starters. For us to continue to look at other options and do other things, John Leur's contract is more conducive for us to do that. And so really it kind of starts there. It allows us to continue to have flexibility, optionality, and to really look at everything we want to do going forward and just be in a better position than we were, I think, before the trade. That's why we did it.
When you look at trying now to make obviously the next step of free agency, but then you'll have to build the summer league team, find undrafted guys, fill out the two ways. How do you kind of look ahead to maybe the undrafted guys that maybe you might be interested in? Or how do you approach that?
So, I wish at some point someone could kind of witness how this goes down, but we spend the entire year preparing for this period of time, and it just happens. So it starts with the draft, starts with the first round, goes into the second round, goes into the second round, goes into undrafted, your pick 61s, which become two ways in Exhibit 10s in Summer League and G League, goes into your free agency and your roster build, and then your season's over. And so it might look like it just kind of happens, but as soon as I'm done with here, I'm going to go back up to the room of 15 guys that are up there that are beating up the phones and calling every player that's been undrafted, every guy we've been talking to for the last 2 months, saying, if you go undrafted, here's what we'll do for you, here's why we like you, here's what your fit is. And so we'll have our Summer League team mostly in place in the next hour or so. We'll have our two ways really kind of ironed out and what it looks like, or the guys that we're going to consider for it in the next hour or so. We're pretty close already. So it just kind of continues to evolve, and so it's not that far away right now.
That kind of being said, I know you said second round you guys are fielding phone calls almost every single pick.
Making, not yeah.
Did it feel different though tonight, just with the big move coming yesterday as far as being that more?
Yeah, I think it felt different because we didn't have anything basically except for cash and future picks to really use as avenues to do deals. But I think we made our best effort. We made our best calls and offers, and it many picks in the second round. You'll see at the end of this thing that basically every second round pick that was traded tonight was traded for some combination of cash and future compensation. Second round picks continue to become more and more valuable, I think, as the years go on in these drafts, and the days of just offering cash and getting a pick is kind of going away, and it's really hard. But we made our best efforts. We were close on a number of things. We had a couple guys that we really targeted, and we thought we wanted to try to get in and draft, but we weren't able to do it. And so it's fine. You know, we made our big move earlier in the day, and we feel really good about where we're at.
In terms of some of like the guys on the roster, is Dante and some of them expect to play, and if you have any update on the recovery for him?
Yeah, good question. Dante's been in here every day. He's looking really good right now. I think he's definitely healthy. We're going to be really cautious with it. We're not going to push him out into summer league. I think summer league, in some ways, is to understand what guys can and can't do, or to give them different opportunities that they haven't seen. Dante was pretty good for us last year when he was healthy, so I don't know about the evaluation piece of it. I do think Sterling Brown and DJ are going to play. That's more about understanding what their roles are going to continue to be on our team, and continue to put them in those situations where they can be more of the guy and more of the facilitators, more of the playmakers. So I think those guys are going to play a little bit on our summer league team. And Dante, I think, will kind of be a game time decision, but he is doing really well.
We talked a little bit yesterday about how all three of these drafts have ended up being different. I guess now that you've gone through this third one, maybe a little bit shorter time in between the end of the season and when you got into it, did it feel any different? Did you sense anything different about this year as opposed to your first 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess it's a function of not having to pick in the draft. It felt completely different. But I love the way that we worked it. I love the options that we have, the discussions that we had, the things that we were close on. Even going into it prior to yesterday, prior to today, having the 30th pick in the draft is just a whole different position than what we're, used to. And we talked about that a little bit yesterday. So, yeah, it felt different. I don't know if I can, accurately express how, but it definitely felt different. Thanks for hanging around.